again, everybody, and welcome to Prime Time Fantasy. It's Week 13 in the GFL. Let's take a look at all your matchups. Up first, it's the Commissioner taking on the Psychotic Philanthropist. The Commissioner, Greg Parr Jr., currently sitting at 6 wins and 6 losses. Not the record he would have hoped for. However, he is still in the lead of the Lewis division. Something to watch in this one will be the Commissioner's decision to start wide receiver DJ Moore over fellow Carolina Panther wide receiver Devin Funchess. On the other side of this matchup, Justin Laney and the Psycho Phillies, all but out of the playoff picture, but they've been playing their best ball, now beating their projected score 3 weeks in a row. They look to continue that against the Commissioner this week. Up next, we've got Jacob Parr and the Seaman versus Jason Laney and Stylin' and Profilin'. Some controversy last week for the Seaman as Leonard Fournette was in a fist fight. He will be suspended this week. Jacob Parr and the Seaman will be without their starting running back, but that's nothing new this year as he's been injured for what seems to be the entire season. As the Seaman lose a player, Stylin' and Profiling gain a player. AJ Green back and healthy, back with the team. He will look to be the key factor in this game as Jason Laney scratches and claws his way back into playoff contention. The divisional matchups keep on going. Up next, we've got GFL champion, the phenomenal one, LJ, versus Nick Marble and the Raw Dogs. The phenomenal one takes an early 23-point lead in this one, currently on a 5-game winning streak. What a hot streak as the phenomenal one, GFL champion, looks to head to Fantasy Mania to defend that championship. Nick Marble and the Raw Dogs have had their best season yet. Last week, Christian McCaffrey with 41 points. The Dogs will need to win out and watch for losses by the Angry Dragons and the Go-Go Gadgets. A lot is going to need to happen for the Raw Dogs to make it to the playoffs for the first time. Either way, it's been a remarkable season for Nick Marble. Up next, we've got Justin Holt and the Angry Dragons versus the Big Yank and the Wild Hogs. Justin Holt and the Dragons currently have a hold of the wild card spot of the playoffs by way of a tiebreaker, a 7-point advantage in points scored on the season. Not only will he have to keep winning these last 2 weeks of the season, he's going to have to put up some points. His opponent in this matchup has had some very, very hard seasons in the past. This one could be the worst. Currently 1-11. Only 1 win on the season. Currently riding a 6-game losing streak. The Wild Hogs are down and out. Let's take a look at our next matchup. It's Scott and the Go-Go Gadgets versus Eric Rossetti and the Dirty Birds. Scott will be looking to take away that wild card position from Justin Holt and the Dragons. He is currently first in coach rating. He has been starting his perfect lineup each and every week. Now he will just be looking to get the win and make up that point differential with the Dragons. Bad news for Eric Rossetti and the Dirty Birds. Of course, they are out of playoff contention. And this week, wide receivers Watkins and Goodwin did not participate in practice. The Dirty Birds will look to damper the playoff hopes of the Gadgets. And of course, this all leads us to our Week 13 game of the week. It's the Shield versus Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. William May and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, currently the #1 ranked team in the league. Only 1 loss on the season. A win in this one, and he will lock up the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. Chris Carter and the Shield have put up a fight this entire season, ranking as a top 5 team in points scored. Things just haven't gone his way. Chris Carter will be playing for pride in this one. Now let's take a look at the current playoff picture. As we mentioned earlier, the #1 seed currently, William May and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. He will clinch that #1 seed with a win this week. Currently at the #2 seed, GFL champion LJ, the phenomenal one. Currently leading his division, he's got the Dragons and the Dogs on his tail. However, he has a lot of confidence heading into these last 2 weeks of the season. The Lewis division leader, the Commissioner, currently sitting at 6-6. He also has a couple of other opponents on his tail, Stylin' and Profiling and the Psycho Phillies. The Commissioner not very happy with his record. However, he is currently in the playoff picture, currently leading the division. Things could be worse. And wrapping it up, #4 seed, the wild card spot currently held by the Dragons. Again, we're going to have to watch the Angry Dragons and the Go-Go Gadgets, their matchups, looking for who wins, who loses, and we'll have to look at the points scored. Lots of action, lots of excitement as we get closer to the GFL playoffs and to Fantasy Mania 10. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we've got for this week. Enjoy the games and catch us next week for another edition of Prime Time Fantasy. Enjoy the games.